What's up, guys? So, I just wanted to give a little bit of update about my situation, my work, and maybe this girl that I'm seeing. But I try not to talk about this girl a lot because it's nothing important, in my opinion. But and then I promise that I'm not gonna talk about her that much. But if you guys want to hear it, let me know. Like I'm thinking like some of you don't want to hear it, and I feel like a lot of you actually want to hear it. But um, I just don't want to talk about her too much because like I feel like it's not really necessary. But if you guys want to hear it, let me know. So either way, the other day. So this is as far as my job. The other day, I got to my work, and it was very early in the morning. As soon as I got in, things got a little like too busy and all that stuff, and I got tied up with a bunch of things like right off the bat, and it was Monday too, so. And I wasn't really feeling the best. I was tired. I was frustrated. I was like, damn, I have to go to work again and I have to do like another 5 days of like slavery. So I was kind of like, I was already in the bad mood. And here goes the job, of course, it kind of like made me more frustrated with all the things that happened. So basically, what happened was, one of our cars in our lot had some paint issue, and we took off the glass to paint it and all that stuff, and unfortunately, that car was gonna stay there for a little bit longer, and the customer wasn't aware of that because he was out of town, and the car wasn't complete. And we little did we know, like, that customer just showed up 8 in the morning, and he wanted to pick up the car, and the car obviously wasn't complete. And my coworker told me that, hey, can you put this glass on and everything, because nobody else could do it, and I was the only one who could do it. So I put the glass on. And I was like, oh shit, I gotta do other stuff too. And I was getting phone calls after phone calls. Somebody else was needing me. And, my manager, he brought his fiance's car because he had some coolant leak. And, he parked it in our shop. And, so basically after, so he was basically calling me while I was doing my stuff, and, I couldn't answer the phone, obviously, because my hands were like tied up. And I finally did. It was just one thing after another, honestly. Like, it's just, I don't want to say all the things. It was just one thing after another, problems after problems. And so basically we got that customer out of the way. And then I went to the office to put the glue or the urethane for the glass back in back in our office. And then my manager came upstairs. I mean, not upstairs, but manager came to the office, and he saw me in the office, and he literally like he went berserk. Like, he started spazzing out on me. He was like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? I've been calling you. You didn't answer the phone. Like, what the fuck? Like, he was talking to me like that, and he was all red. Like, he was like, if he had a gun, he would shoot me, That's how it was. And he was so frustrated. He was so angry. I could see in his face. And nobody in our shop have seen my manager that angry, So you guys can guess that, So, and I was like, why are you yelling at me? I was doing something. And I told him, like, it's not my fault. It's really not my fault because I was tied up. I'm not like, I'm not like a fucking octopus. I have like 8 hands, you know? And he was like, I don't give a shit. You know, whenever I call you, you have to be there. And guys, this was nothing related to our shop. This was strictly relating to his personal car, like his fiance's car. So I was like, I didn't, I mean, I cared, but I didn't care too much because it wasn't related to our job, you know? It was related to his stuff. And somebody lost the key, you know, at the gate in back of our shop. And it wasn't my fault, you know, somebody else lost it. But this guy spazzed out on me just because somebody else did something wrong. And he was like, oh, that's your responsibility. That key, you should have it all the time. Like, I don't have the control of that key. What if somebody wants to use it? What if like emergency happens and all that stuff? He was like, I don't give a damn. If this key gets lost, it's your problem. And it was going on and on. We started like yelling at each other and all that. And it's just like, it was so bad, bro. It was so bad. The whole shop saw us like fighting. Everybody was staring at us. And it's just like so frustrating, bro. It was so frustrating. Like, imagine like you, as soon as you clock in, your day goes bad on the Monday morning. And I was in a really bad mood. I was like, I got into a seriously bad mood, and I was ready to quit right at that moment, you know? But, you know, I was like, let me take a deep breath, you know, because these stuff are always gonna happen, bro. Because like as a TFLer, you know, as a doomer myself, you know, I can't really expect anything better from these normies, bro. Like, these people don't want me to live, you know. These people want me to be gone, you know. These people, they don't want me to have breath in my lungs. So it's just like, I don't expect them to act like friendly and cool with me, you know. And the problem is that I have to be around them just to survive, just to have like a rent to pay. Like, every single day I have to take crap from these people just to, you know what I'm saying, like, not to end up on the streets, which it sucks, but that's the life of a doomer, bro. And you know, it's just like I'm taking crap after crap. But I'm thinking, like, you know, as I put a community post, I was saying like, I'm gonna take a vacation. And guess what? I went to talk to my boss and I took a vacation. You know, it's gonna be for a week. I just want to stay away from these brain dead zombies. I just don't want to see them at all. I don't want to call them. I don't want them to call me. I don't want to see their faces. I don't want to be around these people, at least for a week or two. So, you know, I told my boss, I was like, you know what? I really need this vacation. I'm just getting burned out. I'm getting so frustrated. I'm getting so, like, my soul is getting drained in this job, you know. And surprisingly, he kind of understood. You know, he understood. He was like, yeah, I'm thinking like you need a vacation too. Because he saw my face. My face was so bad. My face looked like somebody who was like, who got older, like, who got 5 years older in like a week. You know, that's how my face was, you know. And, you know, so I'm gonna take my vacation starting from next week, like the following week, not this week, but the following week. And you know, we'll see how it goes, man. I need a reset. I need to regroup myself. I need to clear up my mind. I'm not gonna go anywhere as long as I don't see these normies or anything like that. You know, I'm good. As long as I don't deal with these mofos, I'm good, man. Like, I really, like, it's been 3 years. I haven't took a vacation from this job, and I really need that shit, you know. And so yeah, during that time I might have to like look for another job. But, you know, I know better. You know, another job is going to be the same brainless people. It's going to be like same crap over and over and over and over again. It's going to be a wage slave. It's going to be like bunch of normies. It's going to be like bunch of like people who just want me to, like, you know, vanish from this planet. You know, it's just like, it's going to be like bunch of people who just want to delete me off this map. It's just like it's never ending crap. It's just never ending problems with these people. I'm a chill dude. I'm a very chill dude, but for some reason these normies just hate me so much that they want my life to be like super miserable. And I don't want that, but I have nothing else. I can't do nothing else. I don't have much savings. I'm in debt. I mean, I can't really move around like that because I'm low on resources, and I don't have no support. I don't have nobody to help me out. I don't have nobody to give me money. So I'm kind of stuck in this situation. So, yeah, man, we'll see how this vacation goes. Thank God this week I'm just going to work for 4 days because it's Labor Day. And, after that, I'm going to start my vacation. I'm going to relax. I'm just going to chill as much as I can, and I'm going to look for another job. Hopefully it's going to be better than this job. So, and a little bit closer, because this job that I have is kind of far. It's like 2 hour drive, so it's not really convenient. But that was as far as my job, so good luck me on that. Even if it's a job that pays less, I'll still take it over this crap, because the stress, the headache, the responsibilities, the hassle that I'm going through at this job is just not worth it, man. It's not worth the money that I'm getting. So, but yeah, that was as far as my job. And as far as this girl, as far as the girl that I'm seeing, we're still cool. We'll still hang out. We don't hang out that often, but we're cool. We hung out like yesterday after a while, and everything went good. We went to a place, went to like a chill place. We started talking and all that stuff, and she brought out some stuff. Like, she was saying, like, so, she was saying, like, so how do you see this thing goes, this whole thing, like the connection and relationship goes. And I told her, like, you know what, I just want to take my time a little bit, because, like, I have to get to know you more. And also, like, there are things that, needs to be, like, said. There are things that, we have to talk about. We have to see, like, even we're compatible. And, in general, we have to see, like, how it goes, man. And I don't want to, I told her, like, I don't want to jump to into a relationship like that. And, she showed me some signs that, I mean, here's the thing, bro. Here's the thing. I'm not saying she's bad. She's a bad person. I'm not saying that, But, there are things that I'm not necessarily happy with, with her. But, she's willing to kind of change those. But the other day, we're talking and all that stuff, and she was saying that, whatever you did, that you blocked me and all that stuff, that was kind of a girlish move. And I told her, like, look, if there was any other guy in my situation, he would do the same thing, And the thing is that she was saying, like, oh, but your communication is not good, you don't have much communication skills. You should have let me know and all that stuff. I'm like, what else should I let you know? Like, you were clearly, like, giving me the vibe that you weren't interested. Like, what do you want me to, like, talk about? Like, other than just me blocking you and leave, Like, she was saying, like, okay, I get that, like, you don't like me and all that stuff. I'm like, bro, look, like, did you, like, really expect me to come and tell you, like, okay, I get that you're not really interested in me, and I know you don't want to talk to me and all that stuff, but I want to let you know that I'm going to unfollow you on social media, and we're not going to talk again. Like, I told her, like, do you really expect me to say that to you? And she was like, not necessarily. But at least you could be like a little nice about it instead of like just blocking, ghosting me. I'm like, I had no other choice because you left me with no other choice. You know? And but but it was like kind of like weird, but I just like I was telling her what like what was in my mind. I didn't care, bro. I was like I just have to tell her what's in my mind. I was telling her like, so like here's the thing. Even if I told you these stuff, you would tell me like, okay, I didn't hold you back. You can't just leave. You can't just leave, And she was like, you think like I would say that? I'm like, 100% you would say that. Like 103%. That's what you said. And she started laughing because she knew that it was the truth, She knew it was the truth. And I was like, look, I felt like I was a stalker when I was talking to you before, I felt like I really felt bad, because I felt like I was being clingy and all that stuff. And she was like, no, you weren't being clingy, It was like, I wanted to get to know you. I wanted to like initiate more, but I was kind of shy. I'm like, yeah, but you should have done it. At least you should have let me know. But she was like, oh yeah, I'll let you know. I wasn't interested back then. And so we're talking and all that stuff, we're like kind of seriously talking. And I didn't give a damn, bro. I was just telling her what's in my mind. I was like, whatever, if you don't like it, that's not my problem. I'm just gonna speak what's in my mind, and I have to let you know everything. I'm not one of these little simps out here like that is like scared of like what he's saying and all that stuff. I'm like, I don't care. I'm just gonna speak my mind, and if you don't like it, hey, sorry, not sorry. I just have to be honest with you, because honesty is the key. And yeah, I know these women, they don't like honesty, but I'm telling you, man, sometimes you should be honest with them so you can filter them out, because you don't want to waste time on a chick that it's not really like honesty like that, bro. And I told her what's in my mind, and surprisingly she started hugging me. She was like, she was being actually pretty nourishing. She started hugging me, she started kissing me. She was like, okay, I'm here now, I'm in your arms, let's just forget the past. And she was saying stuff like that. I'm like, the past is gonna be there, I mean, I can't really forget the past. I mean, I can't forgive somebody, but I cannot forget. And she was kind of like, she didn't say nothing at that point, but she was still hugging me. I was like, look, I'm not here to play games. I'm not here to like, this, that, and the other. But she was like, she mentioned that I don't have no experience with women. And I was like, yeah, you're damn right. I don't have no experience with other women, because like, I really never got that experience. And she was like, you should have, I mean, I can tell that you didn't have like many women in your life. I'm like, yeah, I didn't have many women in my life. And you're damn right. You're actually right about that. I never had any women in my life. And she was like, yeah, I can tell that, because if you had many, you would know exactly how to talk to women. So since you don't have that experience, all these problems come to the plate. All these like, you saying stuff that you shouldn't have said, you doing stuff that you should have done. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm just like, I'm in my 30s and I don't have experience with women, like that's just how it is. And I only got one kiss from a girl back in 2014. That's all I got. And with a random ass girl that I never knew her name and all that stuff. That's all I got, And so what do you expect? You expect me to act like a player and all that shit? And she was like, it's okay, you can learn and all that stuff. I'm like, it is what it is, man. Like, it's just my personality, maybe like I'm not the most desirable guy and all that stuff, but if you don't like it, you can leave too, like that's what I told her. I told her like, hey, if you think like I'm not too experienced, if you feel like you have to get with somebody who's experienced and all that stuff, I'm not stopping you, you can leave. And but I told her, like, I just want to let you know, those guys that have experience and all that stuff, they're not gonna stay loyal to you. They're gonna play you. They're gonna cheat on you. They're gonna break your heart. So if you only go for an experienced guy, these are the things that's gonna happen to you. Because, like, if they did that to you, they're gonna do it to another girl, and they did it to another girl before you. You know, I was talking to her like that, you know, it's like serious tone. Like, I wasn't laughing, I wasn't smiling or anything. I was like, I don't give a damn, you know. I'm just gonna say what's out there, you know. And she kind of understood, you know. I was surprised, like, I was surprised, like, she understood, man. Like, bro, usually you tell these girls, like, what's in your mind, they just run away, they just run to the heels, you know. Or they just, like, freaking, like, want to hire like a SpaceX and go to moon or something, you know. But, like, she kind of understood. She was like, I'm glad that you're being honest, you know. I'm glad, like, you're being like your true self. I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, that's I always been like that, you know. Always been like that with everybody. The only thing that I can be is be real, you know. I cannot be fake, you know. I'm not fake. I can't fake my personality, you know. I'm not gonna fake it to, like, you know, I'm not gonna fake my personality just to, like, somebody to like me, you know. And I told her, like, you know what, if do what I mean, here's the thing, the ball is in your court, you know. The ball is in your court. So whatever you want to do it. If you want to leave now, go ahead. If you want to stay, all right, it's fine, you know. But you gotta understand, like, I'm the way I am, you know. I don't have much experience with women, if any. I've never had a girlfriend, and I know I'm old. But if you're cool with that, if you want to stick around, that's on you. If you want to leave, hey, I'm not stopping you. And you know, I think everything went okay, you know. Everything went okay. And it seems like she didn't want to leave. So, but I was being honest with her. I was telling her, like, what no other guy on this planet would tell her. You know, I was being, like, 100% honest with her. And you know, I think that's how us guys should do, you know. You know, and we can't really be, like, fake, because, like, one day that fake self is gonna come out, bro, and it's gonna be worse, you know. In my opinion, you gotta be honest all the time. You gotta be yourself all the time, you know. You can't be somebody else, bro, because if you're being somebody else, you can't play that role for too long, you know. Especially us, you know, us guys, we're not experienced with women. We cannot play that role, bro, because we don't even know how to play that role. And I'm just saying, man, like, we gotta be ourselves, and by some miracle, if a girl likes it, hey, that's great, man. And if they don't like it, they can go finger themselves, you know. So yeah, man, that's all I want to say, you know. That's the update that I wanted to give you. So let me know what you guys think, man. Let me know what you guys think. Did I like mess up, or I did the right thing? Because I don't really care, bro. At this point, I don't care. I mean, I just, like, I don't know, man. I'm at the stage in my life that if I have to be, like, alone for the rest of my life, so be it. I know it's gonna bother me. I know I'm gonna be depressed, but I just cannot be fake, man. I cannot be fake. That's how it is, bro. I never in my life I was fake. You know, but either way, man. You guys have a good one. I mean, that me and that girl will still talk. You know, we still, like, chop it up from time to time, you know. But, you know, even if she leaves, you know, I don't really care, bro, at this point. But anyways, man, you guys let me know, what do you guys think about this video? You guys think, like, I messed up? You guys think like I shouldn't have said it. You guys think like I should have been fake, or I should have been like manipulated, which I can't. But either way, man, I don't want to make this video for too long. So you guys have a good one, and I'll see you guys on the next one.